Hey guys, it's Charlotte, and today's video is going to be a storytime video. And I tried to film in my spot where I filmed my Halloween video, like my one where I was like down on my other part of the deck. And I tried filming there, but my neighbor went out and then she started blowing a a air blower thingy, leaf blower. So I was like, okay, great, I can't film over there now. So I decided to film here, and I don't. So this story time happened to me 2 years ago in 5th grade. And it is a science camp horror story. So if you don't know what science camp is, it's basically, well, I mean, if you're in 5th grade, you probably know. I mean, some people don't do it at all, but some people do it like at 6th grade or like before 5th grade, after 5th grade. But I did my science camp in 5th grade. And this place that I went to for science camp, I've been there before, and it's an amazing place. I just didn't have a good experience, so I just want to say that flat out. So, 5th grade science camp. I was super excited, and we drove up. We were like, driving up to science camp, right? And then the first day or two was okay. My cabin. Oh, let me backstory my cabin. So there's three kinds of cabin. The one the boys get, the one that most boys get, which isn't like the nicest cabins. The really nice ones that some boys get, but mostly girls get, the heated floors, bunk beds, bathrooms that are inside, so you don't have to walk outside. So nice. And then, knowing where I live, what do I get stuck with? The third one, which is the crappiest of them all. So these ones are so tiny. They're probably the size, maybe 2 times my room, which my room is like, okay for a room. But for a room with like 12 plus people, that's not really gonna cut it. So it was my room, probably like 2 times my room. And it was okay, there was bunk beds, like kind of crappier, But the biggest pet peeve I had with it was, the bathrooms. The bathrooms weren't connected to it. They were outside, so you had to walk from your cabin into the cold to the bathroom. And there was a rule. You're not allowed to take hot showers because once you get outside, you're going to be too cold and you might get, I know their reasoning was like, there's something wrong with their head. They're like, you might get frostbite because you're so warm in the shower, but then when you go outside, you're like freezing cold, so you can't do warm showers. So I was like, okay, great, so I guess I won't take a shower for 3 days. I know, it was disgusting. Anyway, I think it was like 4 days, actually. It was disgusting. Like, I regret it. I mean, I should have taken a cold shower, but I really didn't want to take a cold shower. So that's the cabin thing. And the other school I went with was pretty sketchy, let me just say. The dinner, lunch, and breakfast was disgusting. The only thing I liked was like one meal. Everything else was disgusting. Like, oh my god, the meatloaf, like literally, oh my god, I still remember like the taste of it. Like, I didn't want to eat it at all. Every single meal except for like, I think one that I kind of liked. Every single meal was so disgusting. It was, oh my god, it was so bad. And oh, it was so bad. And then all we really did for activities was hike. We went outside, play a few icebreakers, fun. And then the rest of the things we did was hike. We did long hikes. We did 6-hour hikes. And oh, it was so bad. The only fun thing I liked doing was taking pictures with this it was like a disposable camera I bought. But then guess what? The pictures didn't even turn out. And I was like taking ones of trees, taking ones of clouds. Like, it was artsy up in there. But they didn't even turn out. So that was like the cherry on top of my sundae. That was perfect. Okay, anyway. So that is the first thing. Oh, yeah. I know that doesn't sound that bad. Like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Then, after a few days, 2 days, I think, guess what starts happening? People start throwing up. Yeah, that's right. Throwing up. Okay, so people start throwing up. And then after a few days, I've got to mention, people started, this is so stupid, people started crying to get into better cabins. There's this one girl, I think there was 2 girls, they were like, our cabins suck, we need to get a treetop cabin. Like, that's what the nice ones were called, the treetop cabins. And they're like, we want a treetop cabin. So they cried their eyes out until they got the treetop cabin. I mean, not gonna get too involved in that. But no, that was just like a little thing. People started complaining about their cabins. I mean, I did inside my head, and to my friends, I was like, oh my god, I hate this cabin. I really want a treetop one. But I couldn't do anything about it. I wasn't gonna cry my eyes out for one. Okay. And then people start throwing up. People started getting sick. They thought it was food poisoning. They didn't really know what it was. I blame the food, honestly. But once one person starts throwing up, getting sick, it starts spreading around. round round, like literally round and round. Okay, so everyone started throwing up and I was like, oh, that's fun. And I didn't want to start throwing up because I was in the middle of a play I'm doing. I'll get into that at the end of the story. So we weren't allowed to bring our phones. So I was like, I really want to go home. And then the day before, 2 days before we were supposed to leave, we were signing up for our real activities. Like, we got to choose which activities we got to do. There was, like, I don't think it was zip lining, but there was, like, rock climbing, swimming in the pool. There was, like, a little slide thingy. There was so many cool activities, and I was like, oh, my God, I actually get to do something fun. Like, after all this throwing up and all this stupid stuff, I actually get, like, a good experience out of this. So I, like, signed up for my activities. Oh, no, but guess what happens the very next day at lunch? Okay, this is the camp instructor. I'm pretending to be the camp instructor. Sorry, I'm so excited for the inconvenience, but my school name is going to have to leave a day early. The other school can say that they get to stay and do the fun activities, but your school, you have to leave, like, right now. So then the bus comes, everyone is, like, really sad we don't get to do activities. Borderline science camp sucked. Everyone got sick. There was no good experience. Good experiences. Oh, and also in science camp, I had to hold a snake. Well, I mean, I didn't have to. They were passing a snake around, they were passing a snake around. I was like, oh my God, I get to hold a snake. Yay. Held it. 5 seconds later, it's like I'm going to reenact the snake. This is my arm, and this is the snake. And then right before it, like, hits my arm, I'm like, ah! And then the camp leader's like, oh my God, don't do that. And I'm like, it was about to bite me. Like, I don't want to get eaten by a snake. Oh my God. Like, I could literally talk about this subject for hours because there's so many things that sucked about science camps. I don't even think there was one good thing that happened. And then that's not all. After we went home and everyone cried their eyes out, guess what happened? For me, my play practice 2 days later. 2 days after science camp. Want to guess? Yeah. So, that feeling where, okay, I'm going to set this up for you. You're at the amusement park with your family, and it's so fun, like, oh my God, and you decide to have a hot dog, some fries, cotton candy, ice cream, all the sugary stuff, and you're like, oh my God, I'm having a great, uh-oh. And then you're like, and it's like really hot day, so you're like hot and you feel like your stomach really hurts and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. And then everyone else is like, come on, let's have fun. And you're trying to have like a fake smile, like, I'm having so much fun. And then everyone else is like, oh my God. And then your Aunt Sadie's like, come on, Charlotte, we have to go on the next ride. And then your Aunt Teresa's like, come on, let's go get more candy. And you're like, okay, let's go on. And then you go on a roller coaster, you're like, oh, and you feel car sick, you're like, I just want to go home. And then you're like, I have to go to the bathroom. So you're like, I have to go to the bathroom really quick. And your Aunt Sadie's like, fine, go to the bathroom really quick. We have to go on the rides though. We're gonna have a fun day. Like, we're still gonna be here for hours. And you're like, hours? And then you go to the bathroom, right? And then, ew, it's mold. There's leftover things in the toilet, if you know what I mean. And then in the sink, oh. So you're like, I'm not going to the bathroom with this, and you go out and you enjoy the rest of your day holding in your stomach all day, and then you go home and you're like, oh wait, I'm completely fine now. I mean, at the amusement park I wasn't having any fun like I'm supposed to, and I was so sick, but now that I'm home, I'm completely fine. Okay, so that's how I felt. Except for the completely fine part, because I was not completely fine at play practice. So anyway, at play practice, right? And I don't feel so good. And I'm like singing my lines, I'm like learning a dance, and I'm like I can feel something, but I don't really know what it is. I'm like, is it throw up? Is it just me like having to have a really bad burp or something? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and it literally goes everywhere. There's so much, it's like pitch perfect. And then the girl who was right next to me, who was supposed to be like my wife in the play, because I was a boy in that play, she was like, uh-oh, and she quickly backs up, and she's like, and then it goes everywhere. I'm so embarrassed. Like, literally everyone in the cast is there. My face turns bright red. Everyone starts like, oh my God, are you okay? And then they have to like lead me out. I start barfing more in the toilet. My mom comes to get me, and yeah. So that's the story of my science camp horror story. So I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about barf, throw up, and moldy bathrooms. Yay! So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel and join the Char Stars. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!